Hello, my name is Carlos Korsky, and this video is going to show you how to update the firmware in our NXTSD507 HD and NXTSD512 HD enhanced touchscreen interfaces. So to do this, we're going to have to go to our website and download some files, but what you're going to need as well is a laptop that runs Windows. You're going to need a USB cable, similar to the one you would use with a printer, that has a rectangular and a square plug, so a standard USB cable. Then you're going to need something such as a paper clip or a resistor or something with a pointed end to press a button on the screen. So the reason you would possibly do a firmware update is not necessarily for any sort of performance issues, but the newer firmware on the touchscreen may have additional features, such as our firmware version 39 right now has the ability to connect multiple devices to a single screen, whereas our version 29 did not. If you'd want to take advantage of a feature like that, you'd have to update the firmware, so that would be a reason to do that. So on our website, what you're going to need to do is download two files. First is the firmware update itself, and the second is our FireEye Flash firmware updating software. So to do that, we're going to go to the Support tab, the Document Resources tab, and then we're going to find Software on the list. Going to click that. Then in the list, we're going to search for NXTSD5 and hit search. And we're going to see that both of the software items that we're going to need to download are going to show up on the screen. First is the FireEye Flash tool. The current version, as when I made this video, is 1.2. It might be different when you do this. So press download and download that. Then you're going to download the firmware update as well, and you're going to download that. Now, once you download them, they're going to actually be install files. So you're going to run the Windows installer for each one. First do the FireEye Flash tool, then do the firmware itself. Once that is downloaded, you're going to run the FireEye Flash software. And then when you do that, it's going to kind of direct you as to what to do. So we're going to hit Next to begin. It's going to ask me which product I want to update, and it's going to give me a list of choices. Right now, since I have a firmware installed for 512, I'm going to choose that because that's the screen I have. And then I'm going to select the version that I want to update to, and this matches the version on the firmware we downloaded. Then I'm going to hit Next. Now it's going to tell you to plug the USB cable in to the screen while the screen is powered down. So I'm going to go and do that right now. On the back of the screen, the USB connector is going to plug into the USB on the side here. And then to put it into engineering mode, the button is the little hole next to the power LED. So we're going to, I recommend that you remove the power by simply just disconnecting the power plug. That will turn the screen off. And then when it prompts you to do so, you're going to press this button down with a paper clip or something similar. And you can hear it click, and then while this is pressed down, you'll push the power plug back in, and the FireEye Flash firmware tool will continue the process. At this point, you will see that there is progress being made, and the firmware will update. This process actually may take up to 20 minutes, so don't be alarmed. Usually it gets to a pretty high percentage quickly, and it's the last 10% that'll take most of the time. So do give it about 20 minutes to finish the firmware update. While it's doing the update, you'll notice that the touchscreen itself is going to be blank, and that also is normal. Once the update is complete, it will let you know, and then you will be finished, and then you can press the X key to exit out of that screen. Once the firmware update is complete, you're going to press the red X on FireEye Flash to close that. You're also going to remove the USB connector, and then you're going to remove the power plug and plug it back into the back of the screen to recycle the power, and the touchscreen will reboot. Once it reboots, it'll reboot into the new firmware. So depending on what you've changed, the menus may look a little different. If you're at the default configuration for the NXF4000, it should still be connected. If you have changed that, you may have to go into the process for discovering devices and set the devices up again, and that's all covered in Bulletin TSD-4001, which is also available on our website. So that's all there is to updating the firmware. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.